friends, welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since I had a chance to film, but I just got back from San Francisco. I thought it would be fun to show you guys what I brought with me for makeup. I wanted to film this before we actually left and did some pre-filming, but things just got way too crazy. I'm also planning on posting soon the vlog that Ben and I did of our time in San Francisco, but that's for a different video. For now, I just want to show you the 3 bags I have dedicated to beauty items that I brought with me. So the first bag that we have is my actual makeup bag. This was from Physicians Formula, like a Christmas collection a while ago, but it is perfect for travel makeup. It has a lot of space in here, and as I unzip it, you'll see that I really do have it stuffed to the brim. My only complaint in here is that because it's just one big container, everything kind of just sits in here, and it's kind of a nuisance to take it all out every day and put it back. But I don't travel enough to warrant needing something more elaborate than this, so it is what it is. We'll go ahead and start with the tools that I have in here. So I keep 2 beauty blenders, which I know seems high maintenance, but ever since I started baking my under eye area, I always felt weird about using the same sponge day to day for using powder and then using a liquid product. So I decided to have one sponge just for the powdering and one sponge just for my foundation. It is high maintenance, but I just feel better about it. I don't deep clean these every day. I deep clean them once a week. So I just felt like they would get too gunked up. Am I crazy? Am I alone in that? I'm not sure, but I have 2 of these. I also brought my e.l.f. little like plastic palette that I put my liquid foundation onto. This is like a godsend, have to have it with me all the time. The next item that I have that is not travel friendly is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. This, as you'll probably be able to see when I unscrew it, like there's powder everywhere in here. This got jumbled around in my suitcase, so that's kind of annoying. It's not something I've traveled with before, and I don't love traveling with it, but it's the only setting powder that I feel confident in using for my baking method, so I keep it, but it's not my favorite go-to traveling. All right, continuing on with the first top layer, I brought 2 foundations with me. Right before we had left on the trip, my ColourPop No Filter foundation came in the mail. So I was really excited, wanted to take it along with me, but I didn't really end up using it. I felt like it just wasn't something that I knew well enough for performance that I could trust. And I wasn't just in San Francisco for vacation, I was also there for a sorority convention where I am a voting delegate. So I wanted to make sure that I could have long-lasting foundation. So I didn't actually try this out, but it was here just in case I wanted to. I also brought my CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. This has been my go-to foundation for quite some time. However, I have to mix this with my lightening shade adjusting drops from the Body Shop. So these did make the journey as well. I have found that this tends to oxidize pretty deeply throughout the day, and so by mixing these 2 together, I actually create a pretty light shade, almost to the point where you're like, is that too light for your face? But if you give it some time, it actually oxidizes to be the right tone for me. So these 2 together are perfect. For primers, I have 3. I have the Too Faced Shadow Insurance that I've been working on for forever, so this had to come with me. I also decided to try something new, the Estee Edit Pore Vanishing Stick. I noticed that my pores have been more noticeable lately if I'm not using some kind of pore vanishing or pore filling primer. So I wanted to bring this along with me. This worked great. And then for my under eye area in particular, I use the No. 7 Instant Illusion Wrinkle Filler. This just helps fill in those fine lines that I have and avoids the sinking of concealer in there. For mascaras, I brought 3, but I only used 2. I had my Lancome Primer of Life, and I coupled it with the Tarteist. This is like my favorite combination of mascaras. I brought the Lash Paradise just for some variety, but I never actually wanted to use it. So happy that I had 3 of these, but only really needed to have 2. I also brought both of my liners. I have my NYX Wonder Liner, and I have the Luminous Noir Liner from L'Oreal. I love both of these. I brought 2 highlighters with me. I brought my Laura Geller in Gilded Honey. I sometimes like to do a gold eye look with my Lorac Pro palette, so I brought this for those days, but then other days where I was doing more of like a champagne or more neutral eye look, I brought with me my Becca Opal, which, my friends, I have hit pan on. I have never hit pan on a powder highlight before, so that was really exciting. So both of these are excellent. They're also the mini version, so they're perfect for traveling. Personally, if I could buy all of my face powder products in miniature versions, so highlighters, blush, bronzers, it would be magical because that's the perfect amount that I would ever need. I also brought this travel Q-tip box that I stuck my beauty Q-tips into. This, I don't like those beauty Q-tips, but I need to work through what I have, so I have been working through them, but this helps keep them nice and protected inside my makeup kit. Next up, I have the Trestique mini highlight stick. This is what I was using as my eyeshadow base. I also have my Nivea lip butter. I always like to bring a lip butter with me. I have my Physicians Formula bronzer. I'm gonna keep the other side of this hidden so I don't ruin my Project Pan update, but this I traveled with. I also have my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus in the coconut scent. I just wanted to bring a travel version of a setting spray, and this did the job. I also have my travel fragrance. This right now is a super old Bath & Body Works perfume scent called Velvet Tuberose. That was my like holy grail scent. I had it in everything, and when they retired it, I was devastated. It has not come back since retirement. So I've had a perfume for forever, and I wanted to really make a point to work through it this summer because I've had it probably since 2014 or 2015, so I'm shocked the perfume is even still good. But I had it in here. I like this particular perfume because it doesn't require you to have to connect to the actual perfume bottle. You can actually just pour perfume in here, which is helpful for me because my Velvet Tuberose perfume, I can't spray it. The little sprayer is broken, so if I didn't have the ability to pour it into something like this, I wouldn't have been able to use it. I don't know what brand this is. It has no name on it, but it's been amazing. The last two things I have in my makeup bag are the compact, the NYC Individual Eyes Compact. This is, again, me not packing very efficiently. I brought this just for the cream shade. This is the cream shade that I have been working through in connection with my Lorac Mega Pro palette. I thought about just bringing a single eyeshadow, but I was like, no, this is the one that I'm using, so I brought this. And then I also, kind of embarrassingly, brought my Urban Decay Gwen Stefani Collection blush palette. This I was re-inspired to use after seeing a comment about it on a recent video, and ever since then, I've been loving this. My two favorite shades are Easy and Hush, but like even this shade over here, Cherry, I've not really used Lo-Fi. I did use OC, like I was using this. And I know technically I probably could have brought this only instead of also bringing highlights, but I wanted all the choices, all the options, and this was awesome. I really do love this. It is super bulky and not travel friendly because it is just so big and heavy, but I wanted some blush variety and this did the job. If you're keeping score, you'll notice that I haven't talked about concealer, and that's because I discovered that I had forgotten concealer, and so we had to go to the drugstore and pick up the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser in the shade Fair. I have to say, I used to love this stuff, but it is not nearly as great as my ColourPop concealer. So there was no way I could replace the ColourPop concealer. I mean, so this did the job, and I will eventually use this up, but I am definitely proven wrong in the fact that I am obsessed with my ColourPop concealer. Okay, we'll move on to bag number 2. This is what I use for my brushes. This I would like to replace for brushes because I've noticed that some of my brushes get a little bit squished. It's not quite long enough, but it is surprisingly big. I won't go through all the brushes in here for sake of time, but I do bring my Aleph Daily Brush Cleanser, again, because I do use this every single day to clean off my brushes. And I also have in here my eyelash curler from some random brand that came in an Ipsy bag, but I love it. Everything else in here you'll see I have 4 eye brushes, a blush brush, a bronzing brush, a under eye powder brush, concealer brush, like all the things that I would ever possibly need. It all fits compactly in here, but this is definitely very, very old. My mom gave it to me. It came in like some Clinique set that she had purchased, so I do make good use of it. The last bag that I have is my Fleur de Force collaboration with Beautylish that I purchased. This is actually what I was going to replace my Physicians Formula bag with, but I found that it didn't really do the job, but it fits more of like my oddities and hair care. So the first thing I have is my mirror. This is the mirror that I always travel with. It's just, you know, compact enough for the job. I find that I don't always bring a palette that has a mirror with it, and I'm not accustomed to using those kinds of mirrors very often, so I do bring this. I also bring with me a washcloth. This is what I use to essentially like wipe my brushes on, wipe my hands on, anything like that. It goes on a cloth like this. I'm uncomfortable using the ones at the hotels typically because they're white, and I know that like this is very dingy and stained as a gray one, and I don't think it's fair for me to ruin white washcloths wherever I go. I also have in here my Swissco brush that I use to help comb through my hair. It tends to get tangly, and this is perfect for the job. I also keep in here impressed nail supplies. These are the impressed nails that I wore for the convention because we have to have neutral nails for dress code purposes, and so I always have nail glue to go with it. I love the look of these. I also keep in here some like hair oddities. So I had a sweaty bands headband, I had a hair clip, I had some hair ties, I also have some loose bobby pins down here. And then the last thing that I have is my palette. Normally the eyeshadow palette that I bring with me goes in the Physicians Formula bag, but this is too big for that. I will not be opening this because we have an update coming soon, but I wanted to bring this palette with me because I didn't feel like I could go a week without working on a palette, and I was in San Francisco for an entire week, and this just has everything I could need in it minus a cream shade, so I was happy to bring this along. But again, pretty bulky and big, not something I would ordinarily go on a vacation with. Whew! That was a lot of things. Like I said, not the most like effective pack job ever, but I'm a girl who likes a little bit of variety in my life, so that was as narrowed down as I could get it. I would love to hear from you on what travel bags you use for your beauty stuff and what things you would absolutely have to have with you if you were going to go on a vacation. But that is it for me. I'll talk to you guys in the next video real soon. Bye.